like we're live. What is up, people of the internet? That is me, Real American, back in with a new stream. And that is right, we are live on this beautiful, what is it? May 5th? Is it May 5th today? Yeah, it is. So we're joined by Mr. Real Text and
Yes.
Politics. Say hello.
Whoa, Cinco de Mayo.
So, oh yeah, Cinco de Mayo today, that's right. So, for those that are wondering, I'm still a little bit sick, from you can probably tell. So, great. I'm still a little bit sick, but we are live. I'm good enough to stream. So, we have a lot to talk about today. We got to talk about some new polling numbers, which included Florida. We got to talk about the what's happening in Romania. The Trump administration doing some good stuff. But before we get into it, don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends, and of course, join the channel today. These are all great ways to support the daily content. And if you have any questions, concerns, or want to support the channel even further, best way to send in super chats via the chat. Again, I read through as much chat as possible, but usually super chats are the best way your questions answered. And already we got some super chats to read. Let's start with the first one. K-Cup for 2. Josh Showman, Shoeman. Is this Showman or Shoeman? I don't know, but for Wisconsin governor, let's go, boys. Yeah, I think he's a good pick. I gotta learn how to pronounce his name. I think it's Showman. I don't know. Jacob Hawley for 10. They're already trashing Josh Showman. I think he's a good moderate candidate. Please don't get involved, Elon. Maybe Trump shouldn't get involved either. What's your take on the current situation? I think Showman's a good candidate. I think he's pretty solid. Is he the best? No, but I think he could win. But I'm starting to get that feeling that Tom Tiffany's not going to run, which would be very sad. But we'll see. We shall see. American Nerd for 2. I find your lateness disturbing. Darth Vader. That's real. Listen, I was late today. I'm sorry. K-Cup for 5. Liberals. Trump will destroy Cinco de Mayo because he hates Hispanics. Trump, the best burrito bowls come from Trump Tower. I love Hispanics. That's real.
John Skippity.
Oh, hello there. Spikes has been a member for 21 months. You should make another Minecraft server. Last time it didn't go too well. I don't know. American Nerd for 3. Happy Cinco de Mayo Day, aka Mexican Day. Yeah, I forgot Cinco de Mayo today. Great. So, yeah, you're actually here. Wow.
I know, I'm making one of my rare appearances because I'm actually not in class right now. Because you schedule every single fucking stream when I'm either asleep, hungover, or in class. And I can never show up.
Wow. Whose fault is that?
But I took my last final about 3 hours ago, so I'm done for the semester.
Congratulations.
So I can actually show up to streams now and talk incessantly about nothing. I can just say words.
That's a good thing. All right. So, what should we even start with today? Because there's a lot to talk about. I guess Alcatraz.
That's kind of we're bringing back Mob of the Dead. Are you guys ready for that?
So yeah, for those that live under a rock, President Trump announced yesterday they're going to reopen Alcatraz and I guess rebuild it also.
That's I don't know if that was intentional or not, but that was a good pun.
What?
Alcatraz is called the Rock. And you said living under a rock.
Oh, ha.
Yeah, fuck you.
What? What I said was wrong. I just said ha.
Nah. It's okay. No, continue.
Great. Anyways, you go. Wow. Very descriptive. But yeah, so, I do wonder how long it's going to take to get it reopened because how long has it been closed for? Anyone know?
About 60 years, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. So, how long is it going to take for them to reopen this?
Well, okay, so it closed down because it was too costly to keep open, both in getting resources to the island and the upkeep of Alcatraz itself. It doesn't I get the whole let's reopen it because the idea of putting people on an island in a prison is funny because it's hard to escape or whatever. But it's so expensive to keep open and keep maintained.
Yeah, but I think it's worth it.
I think it's worth it just in the sense of optically, I think it's a good idea, but it's just Well,
I just think it's a good idea because it's like the symbol of it. It's like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah. It's the symbolism of having this giant mega prison off the coast of California that you really can't escape because it's surrounded by freezing water. in shark infested ocean.
Yeah,
You
you're
know,
not gonna get out of there. Just like someone's gonna commit a crime. It's like, wait a minute, I don't want to end up in Alcatraz for like a couple years. That'd be terrible. So, you know what? I'm not
Yeah.
gonna do this. But I do wonder. We'll be like next year. I'm guessing.
oh God, no! We'll be lucky if this is open before the end of his term. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I
Things move
guess.
so slowly in bureaucracy, especially when it comes to like building prisons and shit. Just like,
We'll be
just
lucky if the state of California even lets it happen, but
I don't
It's
know.
federal
I don't.
land, I thought.
It's a federal prison. Unless they've turned it over to California, I think they can do whatever the fuck they want with it.
Yeah. All
now
right.
here's the thing. So I mean, obviously, right now it operates as a museum, so it kind
Yeah,
of creates a whole battle. So what would people rather? Would they rather keep the current Alcatraz as a museum and then build a new Alcatraz somewhere else, or basically just close the current museum and then just turn that an Alcatraz
What
and
if
then
you do
just
both? What if you just
wow.
like make it both a museum and a prison?
you can just treat the prisoners as like a zoo exhibit.
Oh yeah, I'd be like, oh, you paid $20 to see this genocidal maniac over here.
That actually would
What
be
you could do is you
that'd be
could make
kind of funny.
Alcatraz the execution chamber of the federal government. That'd be really funny.
That's a good idea, actually.
Because where do we execute people? I know, like federally, we don't execute people too often because every time a Democrat takes over, they stop all of them.
I think
But
it
like,
was. Isn't it somewhere like Colorado or something?
I think it's Terre Haute, Indiana that we Senator
yeah,
Jack
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Sullivan
Terre Haute,
to.
Indiana.
Oh, isn't Colorado
Currently,
like the maximum security prison or something?
Yeah, that's the maximum security.
Colorado, however you say it, is where you. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's where
that's
they
right.
kept our good friend Ted Kaczynski.
What a great individual.
Big
Oh my
fan. You know,
gosh.
something about the Industrial Revolution and its consequences. I don't fucking know.
American Nerd for 2. Why was Alcatraz closed in the first place? Reasons. Very
Yeah, no, it was closed because the upkeep was too
yeah,
expensive,
that's
which
it.
is like,
It's the
you
money.
know,
That's what it comes out to. They were cheaply like, fuck this. We're
it was a
spending too
lot of
much.
money, and like federal escapes are so rare anyways, so they were back then, that like the novelty of it's impossible to escape from because, whatever, like it's too far off the coast, it's too expensive to maintain. That's why they close it down. But if there's anything we're going to be spending tax dollars on, I think it'd be a pretty funny use of it as opposed to like LGBTQ history museums in Philadelphia, which we're spending money
No,
on
in
that, by
in,
the
in
way.
fucking Nigeria or something.
Yeah, or
They're
we're
like
spending
is
fucking
that like
pottery classes in Cambodia. Like I'd rather we build another super prison to keep our worst criminals in.
LGBT museum in Philadelphia? Is that what the Smithsonian is going to be, or what?
Probably.
I don't know, but like I remember that was part of a bill that they added a fucking earmark to give over $1 million to an LGBTQ history museum in Philadelphia. It's like we're spending money on that.
Yes.
Seriously?
Yeah.
American Nerd for 3. Did the only escape attempt there fail terribly?
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure there was one.
There was one
There was
successful, I think.
one. We don't even know. Okay, I don't think we know if it was successful. He got off the island, but we don't ever know. We don't know if he made it to land or not.
He probably died.
Honestly, the water. Fun story about Alcatraz. For the longest time, it was the only federal prison with warm water, and the only reason they did that is so that they wouldn't get used to the cold water, and it would make swimming across harder because they weren't accustomed to the cold.
Yeah, so there was one that was able to get off the island, but
He got off the island though.
the,
If he
the
made it back
body's
to
gone.
if he made it to California, I don't think he made it. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah, he I think he died. I think he might have died.
He probably died it. Yeah.
All right, K-Cup for 5. I went to Alcatraz in 2018. A majority of the buildings are pretty rotted away, but also, too, it's more of a museum with setup. It'll take a bit to open. Yeah, so it's not going to be for a couple years, I'm guessing, but we'll see. We'll see. American Nerd for 2. I think El Capone died at Alcatraz. Did he?
No, he spent time in Alcatraz, but he was released because he was fucking old. Like he was like, I think he was in his 70s and he had syphilis and was basically insane because of it. And then I think he died in his home, like
Yeah.
later.
American Nerd for 3. Trump should also keep Rikers Island open. Oh, yeah, he's going to. The way he does it.
Oh yeah, Rikers makes sense because like it's right in the middle of New York City. It's not like it's off the coast. Like it's not like it's miles off the coast. It's in between Manhattan, the Bronx, and it is Queens, right? I'm not fucking blanking. I always get Kings and Queens mixed up.
All right, American Nerd for 2. Should they make the Epstein Island into a prison? Um,
That'd be a little too far away because that's
yeah.
like that's east of fucking Dominican Republic.
Yeah, but it'd be kind of funny though. If there's that's where we do our executions.
Like we already have Gitmo. Gitmo's right there.
Yeah,
It's
no.
closer than
How
Little
about
St.
that? Make that
James's.
like Gitmo's like execution chamber or something.
Yeah.
Make him use
Does the
the.
United States still have possession of the island?
I would assume so. Why would we just give it up? I don't
Let's
know.
look.
Yeah, it turns out it's owned by like freaking the Bahamas or whatever. I don't know. Like who'd own it if it's not us?
It was purchased by investor Stephen Deckoff
Huh?
in 2023.
Who would want to buy that island?
What do you mean he would want to buy that island?
Who would want to buy that island? Like actually, like with the history
If
of it.
well, nothing else. It's a private island off the coast of America. Like it is technically American.
I
And it
guess.
was only apparently the guy bought it for 60 million. So
All right.
which for two private islands off the Virgin Island, that's not that bad.
He got a discount.
Yeah, dude, he got it half off. It was originally going for 125. He bought it for 60.
I wonder why it was discounted.
Yeah, you guys know how like if you buy a house that like had like a murder or a suicide in, they heavily discount it.
yeah,
It was like that. It
same
was like
thing.
that because a certain events transpired on the island for a certain amount of time.
What are you talking about, Kitty? Don't.
No.
All right, American Nerd for 3. We need more supermax prisons in this country. I agree.
The problem with like I hate when people are like, oh, we put this many people in prison and it's all weed and stuff. It's like I think that we do need to be more selective in who we put in prison and for what reasons.
I agree.
But I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. We don't actually have anyone in federal prison right now for weed charges.
Yeah.
We have people in prison for for moving drugs or making drugs, and they might have a weed possession charge on top of their normal prison sentence. But when Biden signed an executive order, I think it was an executive order / pardon, and it basically said anyone who is only in federal prison for weed for possession of weed that isn't for like distribution should be pardoned. Guess how many got pardoned?
0.
Zero. Not a single person got pardoned from that because there is not a single person in federal prison who was only in there because they had like a gram of weed on them.
Huh.
DEA doesn't waste their time on that.
I did not know that. I thought there were a couple at least, but 0? Really?
It's not worth federal resources are not going into people
I
going to
guess.
people who possess weed. Like the only reason they would do it is if you're running it, if you're smuggling it, if you're growing it, they might move you on it. But what incentive does the DEA, does the FBI, does the federal prosecution system, does the federal courts have to put a guy in a federal prison for a gram of weed?
Racism.
Well, obviously.
Gosh. Stephen
Like-
Howard for 5. Do you think the massive drop in foreign born employment could mean there are large numbers of self-deportations? The official numbers aren't great. Yeah, so there's been a lot of people like leaving the workforce mysteriously. All these people that are not supposed to be here, they're just gone. Which is kind of funny.
Here's what I will say about the official number of deportations, because this has been something that people have brought up both on the right and the left. They've been saying deportations are actually down compared to Trump, compared to Biden.
Please. I was about to mention
I will
this.
explain this whole situation. So under the Obama administration, and this is an Obama thing. Prior to that, under Bush, deportations were deportations. It was people in the country that we deported. Under Obama, turnaways and turnarounds, which basically means they hopped over the border and we immediately sent them back. I mean, that is literally they never even left the county that they got into. They were immediately turned around and sent back. Those are considered deportations in the same way that going into like Illinois and grabbing an illegal from Chicago and deporting him is a deportation. In terms of deportations from the interior, and that means no turnarounds, no turnaways, just pure deportations, they are up dramatically from Biden.
I mean, that's what people don't understand. Like, the real deportations are up. This crap of, oh yeah, the person showed up for 5 seconds, we got rid of him. No, that doesn't count. That's
Illegal
Obama,
border crossings are down 95%
isn't it like
from Biden.
0 now?
There are places that had thousands of crossings a day that don't even crack 100 anymore.
Yeah.
So mathematically, yes, deportations are down. But in terms of net migration, we are rapidly decreasing.
Oh
I
yeah.
think we're actually, I don't know if we're deporting more than we're bringing in, but it is slowly ramping up. But secondly, actual deportations from the interior of the country are up, even if we're not turning around 300,000 illegal aliens a month.
Yeah, people understand that the deportation stuff. I mean, I'm still mad about it. I think it should be way more, but it's actual deportations. It's not under Obama where it's like, oh yeah, we had how many did they claim? Like 10 million or whatever.
It's tens of it's over 100,000 a month in some cases.
Yeah, it's like that's bullshit. That is bullshit. They didn't deport anybody under Obama. They're like, oh yeah, you guys are gone. You were here for 5 seconds. Come back in 5 months. We'll let you in. That's really what they did. So it wasn't real. American Nerd for 5. Imagine if we got the idea for the Escape from New York movie and turned it a major city to a giant supermax prison to send the worst of the worst to. That would just be like Detroit or Gary, Indiana. Just send the Gary, Indiana. Make it a supermax prison. Anyways. But yeah, speaking of self-deportations, you guys hear about this? What Trump is proposing?
Okay, so it's $1,000 payments and payments for flights. It is technically cheaper than forced deportation. It's about a quarter of the cost, 25%. Maybe I think it's like a 30% whenever you calculate it out exactly. I don't like the idea of paying illegals $1,000, and this needs to be heavily regulated. So that way people aren't coming over, collecting the $1,000 and then going home and then doing that over and over again. But realistically, it is cheaper and it will likely be a fast track to deporting people.
Yeah. I think it's the best way. Like, listen, I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I mean, we're spending 17,000 per person. Holy shit. You know, it's like, that's too much money. Way too much money. We should not be spending that much, but that's the reality of it. It would be cheaper to just say, hey, go on this flight here and go away. We'll pay for it. Go away and we'll never see you again. But yeah, like, how would they regulate that, though? It's like, if they just cross the border 100 times, like, they get $1,000.
What I'm hoping they do is you had to have entered the country before this was announced. And anyone who comes in after that just gets a regular deportation. Now, how you keep track of that, I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs of the federal government and how they keep track of illegals. I think they do a pretty decent job, from what I understand, because you'll hear all the time about one person getting his 5th deportation of the year. But I think I trust. Okay, here's the thing: if it was Biden doing this, I would not trust it at all.
Oh yeah, no.
Because I don't trust him for that not to be a giant Ponzi scheme. But I think Trump is actually going to, at least relatively as well as he can, limit fraud and abuse in the system if he does do it. Because honestly, one, it encourages them to leave instead of forcing them, and two, it's literally 30% the cost. It's almost 75%.
I wonder, does this include the court costs?
I think it's got to include court costs, because there's no way it costs that much money to track these people down. It's got to be court costs to actually find them fit for deportation.
That's a problem. That's why we got to do it this way, because the freaking courts are worthless. It's like, oh, you can't deport this poor innocent individual that was deported 15 times. You can't get rid of him. He's a citizen.
Maryland man.
How is that going, by the way? Did Democrats literally say, like, don't go to El Salvador again?
No, yeah, Hakeem Jeffries told him to stop doing it, because it was like, here's the thing. Here's what I will say about this guy. I don't think there is a smoking gun. He is 100% MS-13. And that may be controversial for me to say. But the absolute best case scenario with this guy is he is an illegal El Salvadoran who has been accused by his wife multiple times of physical domestic abuse and was arrested hanging out with active MS-13 gang members. That is the best case scenario for this guy. I mean, he is a wife-beating illegal that was hanging out with MS-13 gang members and was actively trafficking illegals from Texas to Maryland. You guys ever hear about that?
Yeah.
He was pulled over and detained because he was driving an SUV with like 8 illegals in his backseat.
I wonder what's going on there.
That's the best case scenario. The worst case scenario is this guy is either actively in or was actively trying to join MS-13 and was trafficking illegals to Maryland. That is the. I mean, that is what the evidence points to. But I will give him the benefit of the doubt and just say, bare minimum, he is an illegal that
Horrible.
is driving illegals around and beating his wife repeatedly.
Dilly Bond for 10. Alcatraz 2.0, baby. Here we go. Yeah, Alcatraz is back. But yeah, just the whole Maryland dad stuff. That was the stupidest thing ever.
And for some reason, his wife wants him back in America for whatever reason.
Because she's making money off of this, I think.
It's two things. One, it's battered wife syndrome, battered spouse syndrome. I'm sure you guys are familiar with that. It's a combination of battered spouse syndrome and the fact that if she can get him back in the country, she's gonna get a pretty big fucking payday.
Yeah,
it's those two things combined.
We'll see. I think that he's never gonna come back. So surely he isn't. Surely, we'll see though.
I mean, I don't even think if we get a Democrat administration, they're going to be able to. You're not going to be able to force the president of El Salvador, to hand over one of his own citizens. Like that's not, you can't, it's not like an extradition treaty where they're saying, hey, he committed a crime and then left the country. Let us have him so we can try him. That's one thing. But this idea that a possible MS-13 gang member and a citizen of El Salvador has to be handed over to America because we made an error and accidentally sent him back to you. That's not how that works.
I'll be like, no, fuck you. We're keeping him.
The Supreme Court, despite what everyone would say about this whole thing, the Supreme Court did not order the Trump administration to get him back by any means necessary. And they didn't even say that the judge was entirely in the right when she did what she did. What they said is if El Salvador wants to give him back to America, that Trump has to accommodate that and bring him back. That was the court order. And it also accosted the judge for overstepping her authority massively. So the only option here, the only real option here is Democrats are they're going to have to basically use economic or military force to get this guy back. And the shit show that would cause to put that many resources into bringing back an illegal alien that beat the fuck out of his wife and trafficked illegals and hung out with gang members, I don't know.
Ryan Guy chat say like they would send SEAL Team 6. They probably would. They probably would send SEAL Team 6. I was gonna say, man,
if Democrats put even half as much effort into the American worker as they did illegal aliens, I think I'd probably vote for them. But they don't.
Yeah, they don't
like honestly.
It. There's not
they don't care.
She has children. You know, I've heard about that. Do we even know he has kids?
He has kids. Actually, no. His wife has kids from his ex.
Okay, I get it.
From what I understand, those aren't even his kids. Those are his stepkids. Because and the only reason I know this is because his wife's ex did not want his kids going to her because from what he said, he literally told the court she is married to a gang member.
Bruh. So like you're telling me Democrats spent all this time defending this guy?
Yes.
Maryland Man, everybody. Maryland Man.
Maryland Man.
Hold up, we got breaking news, everybody, from Bloomberg. Actually, Eric Daughtry. But point is, so apparently, according to Bloomberg, India offers the Trump administration a 0-for-0 tariffs on auto parts, steel, and pharmaceuticals. Neat.
Huh.
So, for starters, why did India have tariffs on America in the first place? Why?
Rapidly developing country that wanted to protect its interests. I mean, it's the same reason anyone does it.
Oh yeah, but we're not allowed to do it. Oh, we can't.
Yeah, we're not allowed to. They are.
We can't because it's racist, but India can do it because they're a democracy.
But yeah, so apparently India is saying they want to make a deal. That's what it sounds like. So, speaking of the trade stuff, when are we gonna get any deals signed? When? I thought we would have had something by now, but so far it's been what, a month?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, no deals yet, but it seems like we're getting close. Surely. Do not redeem Trump. Oh gosh. Do not redeem.
Have you guys seen the thing where it's that Michigan congressman? It's like,
yeah,
Sada, you have been impeached. you must not redeem the gift card.
How did that guy become a congressman?
Who knows?
Well, he's South Asian and
now I mean he's done. I mean, after the stuff that came out with the dogs, he's done.
That's the funny thing. The problem, these people can get away with a lot whenever they're not being watched, because nobody really wants to dig too deep into him because there's no point. He's a random congressman from a safe blue district. Who cares? And then as soon as they put themselves in the spotlight, they get put under a microscope, and everything they've ever done, correctly or incorrectly, since they've gotten to this country or been born in this country is revealed. And this guy, buddy, dude bankrupted a lab he owned and then left everything in there to die. I mean, that's just inherently evil.
Yeah. And the fact that he won in the first place, just this is pathetic. Crank mode for 5. The only reason the stream guy, I don't know his name, knows the kids aren't Garcias is because he's the father. Oh, gosh. Does he imply you're the father, Yay?
No.
Oh, my gosh. But yeah, so, the Maryland dad stuff. What the fuck was the point? What was the point? Did they really waste all their political capital on that? That one scumbag.
Here's the thing. Democrats have an inherent reactionary response to anything Trump does.
That's true.
And when they heard that the only thing they saw in this situation is they heard Trump deported someone to El Salvador who had a protective order to be deported to El Salvador. So that was the only thing they saw. What they saw was they saw that Trump deported a man to El Salvador that technically had a protective order that was like 8 years old at that point. That motherfucker, I think it was 5 years old. I think he got it in 2019. And from what I understand, the gang he was wanting protection from doesn't even exist anymore.
Bruh.
Among other things. But what they forgot to mention is, one, if they think he's a gang member, which has been confirmed both by the Trump admin and by the El Salvadoran government, that court order doesn't apply anymore because of the Alien Enemies Act, among other things. And they can immediately deport him back to El Salvador anyways. But if nothing else, I mean, I don't know why they thought this would go over. I mean, I don't know a single person that isn't already a lifelong Democrat voter that's going to go, I was going to vote for Trump or I was going to vote for Republicans, but then he deported an illegal alien, El Salvadoran, to El Salvador and despite a court order. And I don't care that he beat his wife and that he trafficked illegal aliens and he hung out with gang members. Technically, he wasn't a confirmed gang member, so I have to vote Democrat now. That person doesn't exist. Yeah, that person does not exist in any capacity.
No, actually, they're all real. That's the average voter.
Yeah, I mean that's the median. That's the median Wisconsin voter. I'm just saying.
Oh gosh, Builder Shed for 5. Who wins? Red Lion saying recession or Jim Cramer saying no recession? I think the universe is gonna implode.
I was gonna say I think we're gonna get I think it's gonna be 0.0% growth on the dot.
Hold up. Whoa.
Down to the dollar.
Hold up. We got news out of Yemen.
I'm a big fan of Yemen. What's it about?
So apparently Israel just bombed Yemen.
Let's go.
Oh yeah, speaking of Israel, didn't they announce plans to annex the entirety of Gaza? Like they were probably going to anyways.
Yeah. They're gonna take all of it. Yeah, so just then Israel has launched strikes on Yemen.
I love war in the Middle East. I want more war in the Middle East, please.
Yeah, so it's official. Wow.
War in the Middle East space.
Speaking of Israel, you know what the funniest thing about the whole thing is? It turns out Trump governed Mike Waltz because he's pro-Israel.
Oh yeah, no, he was apparently going behind the administration and having meetings with him to try and encourage Iranian strikes on Iran. And that was the main reason he got fired. The Signal Gate thing was just one, I think it was the nail in the coffin, and two, it was a very good public reason to fire him.
Yeah. But no, I just find it funny. It's oh yeah, he's too pro-Israel. So much for that conspiracy.
But guys, Zion Dawn. I'm just I mean, come on, guys.
Zion.
Yeah, Trump's a slave to Israel, guys. Totally.
All right, let's see. On that note, can we talk about the deranged bill Congress would stop in criticism of Israel? I saw that. That's batshit crazy.
Yeah, and for that, Mike Lawler, you're no longer a vice governor.
Dude, what are you trying to accomplish? Why?
And he's probably trying to win over more of the Jewish votes, and
he's gonna piss everybody else off. Nobody likes that bill, and I think did Mike Johnson strike it down or whatever?
Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah, so thankfully he's not gonna go to a vote, but they were trying to force that through. I believe. I think they were trying to like do it like underneath the table. It's like no one knows about it, but then people caught on. It's like, wait a minute, what? Why does this bill have like provisions where if you criticize Israel, you go to prison for 20 years? That's real, by the way. I gotta pull that up. Hold on. I forget who posted it first. Yeah, so this is a real thing. Let me pull this up. Yeah, so the IGO Anti-Boycott Act, sponsored by Representative Michael Lawler, fines up to $1 million and prison sentences up to 20 years for Americans participating in boycotts of Israel or in settlements if these boycotts are endorsed by international bodies like the UN or EU. Wow. I thought the Republican Party was against wokeness. I thought they were against cancel culture.
The woke mob.
The woke mob. But it's like,
the woke right.
This is real. They're trying to force this through at the last second, but the people caught on. They said, fuck this. So, Randy Fine probably loves the bill. The funny part is, I don't think he sponsored it. I think he's one of the few Republicans that didn't sponsor the bill. So, I don't think the Hammer of Zion knew.
Yeah, it was, again, Mike Lawler.
Yeah.
Hammer of Zion.
Well, that's his name. He's a Hammer of Zion. That's Randy Fine.
Is that like is that a nickname he gave himself?
Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure he calls himself the Hammer of Zion. American Nerd for Fight. Break-in from Kill the Coolidge Project. 30 Israeli fighter jets are currently participating in attack against Yemen. Yep, we saw that. Yeah, so Kill the Coolidge Project reported that. So, let's see. How was it Randy Fine involved? I don't know. The Hammer of Zion was like sick or whatever. He didn't know. He did not know with the bill.
He was hiding under his desk. He couldn't. He didn't have time to sponsor.
Apparently, Abe Hamadi was one of the co-sponsors.
Bro.
What?
Abe Hamaste, my beloved.
I forgot he exists, by the way. I completely forgot about him.
He's trying to,
Did he actually co-sponsor the bill?
He's trying to blend in with the crowd.
Oh, gosh. Still so sick that Masters didn't win that race. If only Trump didn't freaking back it because of Lake. That's gonna forever piss me off. Because Kerry Lake is a... Anyways. Mike for 2. We have foreign agents and our government grows. I think it's a bit overstated. So how many is a self-hating Arab? I don't know. Wait, I don't think is he Muslim?
I think he's like... No, he's vaguely religious, if I remember correctly. But yes, he used to be Muslim, and he voted for Obama illegally under his mom. So,
yeah.
Anyways,
funny how that works. All right. Blake Masters is a rhino. What are you talking about?
Because he didn't because he conceded. He's
you know,
a rhino.
what has Masters been up to, anyways? Anyone know?
Great news for Masters. What can I say?
Anyone know what he's done?
Probably not.
I think he's just chilling out.
Man, I wanted to run so like he's not gonna run again, but anyways. Randy Fight thought the bill wasn't tough enough. I would be surprised. It's like, no, it must be 50 years in prison.
Oh no, yeah, you're gonna be deported if you
yeah, you're gonna get deported. You know, and that's a funny thing about this. Like, we're deporting people for some of the protest stuff, but just like these people are still illegal. We're just having an excuse to get rid of them. Anyways, American Nerd for 2. Are Fight and Hamadi having a Freaky Friday thing? I don't know. I don't want to know. MAGA thinks that Kerry Lake is both Arizona governor and senator. That's real. Yeah, she's both the governor and senator. What's next? Wait, what's she in charge of now? Like, isn't that shitty, like, news outlets or whatever?
VOA, yeah.
Yeah, Voice of America.
I don't think anyone's ever said, "Oh yeah, let's watch Voice of America." Let's go watch.
It's a network for people outside of the country.
I know it's like the shitty like it's like the Russian version, the Russian thing. American
like
Nerd
RT, I guess.
Yeah, American Nerd for 3. Blake Masters for Trump's NSA. That'd be a good idea, but I don't. They may just get rid of that position. I think Marco Rubio is just gonna have the position forever. He's the archivist, the Secretary of State, head of NSA, and there's a fourth thing. I think USAID. Yeah, He's in charge of
Wasn't
everything.
wasn't DeSantis listed as an option for NSA, and he's never going to get it.
That's
but-
not gonna happen.
You guys see
Yeah.
that video of a DHS agent smoking a cigar?
What?
That's after a raid.
Oh, I saw
Give me a
that.
sec.
Rumsfeld for NSA. Is he still alive?
Check general.
Oh, I saw that. And speaking of Florida, Real Texan, I think you posted this earlier. Yeah, right here. So there was a shitty poll that came out of Florida from the James Madison Institute. It was conducted 3 weeks ago. So you're going to tell how this is going to go. According to these assholes, Casey DeSantis is beating Donalds. Even with a Trump endorsement.
So true.
Does anyone actually believe this shit?
Yes, actually.
I guess you're right. Yeah, the DeSimps. Guys, let's be honest here. Donald's with the primary. I don't even think DeSantis runs now. Donald's the guy that backing of everybody. So, who else can she get the backing from? I guess her husband, but anybody else?
No.
Can anyone name a single person that could actually endorse Casey?
Chris Nelson.
It would be a Chris Nelson type. It
Hear
would
me
be.
out, guys. Where's Rufus? Where's Rufus when you need him?
Rufus? Isn't like DeSantis like under like a lot of pressure from some scandal or something?
Something like that.
Yeah, it's like some weird like scam he was involved in. I don't know, but like that whole situation's dumb. He had so much potential, he blew it. All he had to do was wait till 2028. And the funny thing is, he probably would have been the VP if he kept his mouth shut and backed Trump right away. He would have been the VP right now. So it actually worked out good for us. But all right, let's see. These Casey supporters only hate Donalds because he's black, real, not fake. You know, that the sad part is you're not wrong. Some of these people are like, oh, you know, we can't support him because of reasons. We can't specify why. But K-Cup for 5.
He's Mark Robinson 2.0 because
Yeah.
he's
No, I think they called like what was the Sims? They called like the Captain Falcon or whatever. He's black or whatever. It's like that's who these people are. They're nuts. K-Cup for 5. Rubio is an archivist, NSA, Secretary of State, stand-in VP, backup Florida governor, head dog trainer, lead fighter pilot, 8-time Super Bowl champion, and NHL Finals MVP. Yeah, he's literally everything. And I think Trump said yesterday that he expects it to be like Vance to say Rubio. I think he said. Let me pull this up. Vance, Rubio, Trump.
Oh, I think he named him as like his 2 possible successors.
Yeah.
But yeah.
He said Trump listed 2 names in this order for his successors: JD Vance and Marco Rubio. Can we just say this is gonna be the ticket? Can we just say that already? Surely it doesn't change. Surely. So, what do you guys think? You guys, or I guess real text early here. So, is it gonna be Vance Rubio? Is it actually gonna be these 2?
I mean, it's in my bio, so yeah. On Twitter, you know.
All right. Mike for 2. Vance Gabbard 28. Common sense and anti-war. I mean, Gabbard would be good for like. What is she right now?
DNI.
Yeah. So maybe
DEI.
Secretary of State. I personally like Vance Rubio. I think that's the best option. I made a whole video on this. All Rubio to do is wait till 2028. What? Well, yeah, he's waited, and now he's gonna be rewarded the VP ship and possibly future president. So we'd love to see.
What else? So I sent something else here. Oh yeah, Tyrone sent something about Mark Carney banning Twitter from Canada. That might be taken out of context, but
I don't know. I would be shocked though.
yeah, because you're probably gonna start seeing it banned from like several left-leaning countries just because Elon Musk.
Yeah, Musk bad. Speaking of Musk in Texas, apparently you guys had elections and
Yeah,
right.
we completely fucked him up. Yeah, it was bad. We basically had a blue wave in Texas.
Oh, let me guess, 5% turnout.
Yeah. So basically, yeah, there was like a bunch of school board and like mayoral elections. So I think pretty much every incumbent mayor that ran for re-election won,
Right.
regardless of their party. The biggest race there was San Antonio, which was an open race. That's going to a runoff between a couple people. I don't know. It's going to go Democrats, so um, it's not. It doesn't really matter. Um, but yeah, I think the biggest story is that some bunch of school board seats flipped from Republican to Democrat,
And
and I think Democrats actually flipped control of of some school board of some actual school
I
boards.
I have a theory in this one. All right, let me
And
take a
in addition, I
guess.
think Democrats also flipped the mayorship of Richardson, Texas, from Republican to Democrats.
Jeez. Uh, it's because did Starbase become a city or something? Like,
I think so, actually. I don't know. I don't know if that was part of a referendum, but yeah,
but yeah. So what I think happened to the school board elections is simple. Who probably voted?
boomers.
Yeah, these people that I guarantee, like none of them have kids or any grandkids, and they all voted. And I've been thinking more about this. Like these school board elections, in my opinion, it should only be parents. That's just common sense. Why the hell should like these old ass people, if they don't have kids or whatever, grandkids, why should they vote? Why?
Democracy.
Democracy. Yeah, sure. But I think personally, it should only be parents that voted these elections. Plexus might happen in 2028. No.
No, that's bullshit. It's not happening.
All that happened was the
Yeah,
boomers voted, and they're all Dems, so.
yeah, that's basically it. Um, that said, though, I do think Democrats might be winning on the education issue now,
I don't
at least to
know.
some extent. I think, in my opinion, what's probably happening is that the average voter might be, like, maybe even ones that were supportive of the book bans, they might be seeing them as going too far. Like, they're banning, I don't know, in some cases,
I,
like Anne
I don't think you
Frank
really
or
compare that, though, because these elections are having only old people vote. So is that really what people think, or is that just old people voting? I don't know. Like, I'm
it
not saying it's
could be a
guaranteed.
mixture of both. The other thing I will also mention, Abbott just signed a school choice bill, like maybe a day or two before the election, or actually maybe on the day of the election.
That might have excited boomers. Be like, oh yeah, we're gonna vote in droves. I
Yeah,
don't know.
so
Uh, what do you think with the recent stuff with Fetterman? I think Fetterman's done. They're gonna force him out. That's my take. But we shall see. We shall see. Red Sean Parnell. I would like that, but he's not going to. I mean, he could, but let's
that'd be
see.
cool, but not
Hold
gonna
on.
happen.
Paula Page is running. Really?
Oh yeah, I think he just announced that Paula Page is
Yeah,
running
May
for
2nd.
yeah.
Yep. I don't think he's gonna win, but we'll see.
Definitely not against Jared
Golden.
Golden, but yeah.
All right, K Cup for 5. Parents, I want my children's education to be good and meaningful. Why do you get to determine if that happens? Boomers, I earned it. Yeah, basically. That's a philosophy. Oh, I worked hard. No, you didn't. You didn't do shit.
I won my last election, so it's my decision.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. We outnumber the Democrats. Well, that's why it's like higher turnout's good, and that's why Republicans suck right now. These elections with 5% turnout, they lose because the only people voting are old ass white people. So, and speaking of that, Rasmussen released a new chart today. Talked about their approval, and people may notice something very strange. Something very strange. American Nerd for 2. Isn't Paula Page like in his 70s? He's 76. So he's up there in age.
He's old.
But yeah.
Well, there's a bit of a gender gap, I will say, but
But look at the generation with the smallest gap.
18 to 29.
Yeah.
And then
Remember
the
what?
biggest gap, 30 to 39.
That's millennials. That's the millennial generation. That's what I expected. This idea that the Gen Z is such a big like split, it's not really true. Some yeah, but
Millennial men supporting Trump. Well, I guess that might be a lot of parents, I guess, but
yeah. And I guarantee you, like, the only reason, like, millennial women are so, like, against Trump, like, half of them don't have kids. So, and that's what I think's happening here. The people that actually have kids and stuff, they're realizing, oh shit, we have a problem here. Even
I feel like
Jen's.
whenever I think of millennial man, I think of like the gay, like YIMBY communist, whatever. Like,
Yeah. But, like, the average millennial is not that batshit crazy. And they're actually, like, getting older now. They're, like, in their. Gosh, how old would they be now, millennials?
uh,
Would they be in their third? I guess their 30s. Late 20s,
well,
30s.
30 to 39,
I
but
basically.
older ones are probably in their 40s though.
Yeah. So, what I think's happening is they're having kids, and they're realizing, oh, wait, this world's batshit crazy. The stuff I supported is not good.
So Trump does have a positive net approval with boomer men. That kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Those are like your MAGA boomers.
But look at boomer women.
Apparently, that's actually still higher than the millennial women, though, like by a little bit.
Yeah, but I would argue that the only reason is that's including, like, what's left of the, what's generation before the boomers?
Silent generation.
Yeah, it's like there's still some left. They're, like,
I
very
mean,
pro-Trump.
you still have like your you still have like your boomer con, like I don't know, your
Yeah.
MAGA boomer
You
grandmas or
still got,
whatever.
like, the people that fought in World War II. They're still around. They're getting up there in age,
I
but
mean,
they're still around.
the MAGA boomer grandma that thinks that Trump won California or
Yeah,
something.
that's actually a good way to put it. The silent generation is super pro-Trump. It's like R+80. The problem is they're old. They're dying off.
Well, again, I would apply that to boomers as well because there are still actual literal MAGA boomers.
Yeah, they are. But
It's just the ones that actually vote are the Democrats.
yeah,
The MAGA boomers are the ones that probably share Facebook memes that are like, I will only ever vote for Donald Trump for the rest of my life or something. I don't know.
that's real. American Nerd for 3, and millennials are just younger boomers. I wouldn't really say that. I think what happened was a lot of them didn't care. They're like, oh, who cares? But now they're realizing, oh, wait, the world's going to shit. Maybe this was a good idea. Gen Z replaced the silent in voting Trump. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. All that happened is the young men and women, they're becoming more and more conservative. And we saw this in 2024. That study by Yale, they literally proved the youngest, I think it was the youngest woman vote, but like the youngest women, they're like 18 to 20 or whatever. They voted for Trump by 2. So we'll see, but I do think we're seeing a trend. It's not stopping. In fact, it's actually accelerating, which is kind of funny, but let's see. Silent generation were in their teens during World War II. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying, like, the ones that fought in World War II, they're died off, but then you got the silent generation, they're a bit older. You get the point. How do you think Wisconsin will trend in the future after the Supreme Court election? We'll see. The problem is people moving from Chicago. And they're voting Democrat. So, anyways. I was told what? I was the one who told you Trump was going to win before he started the election. Good luck, you didn't know what's going to happen. What? I don't know. But yeah, I'm curious, like, will Republicans win the young vote in 26?
Oh,
Serious question. I mean, I don't like to speculate now, but, like, we're at a point now where they may actually win Gen Z women. That's what the polls are showing. They're doing good with Gen Z women now.
If they actually show up and vote, we can probably win them. But if not, I don't know.
Let's see. The older Gen Z that are 24 to 28 men and women are probably the only group that in Gen Z. Yeah, you're not wrong. I think this gap's a lot smaller with the ones that are younger. It's the ones that got fucked over with the COVID stuff. The ones before the age of 24, they got fucked. So, what?
Oh, sorry. Been accidentally played a video.
The millennials were the first internet generation, and the internet was very insufferable before COVID. That's true. It was actually good for a little bit, then it went to shit. Then, yeah. Late Gen Z is really conservative. I disagree with that. I think it's the opposite. I think younger Gen Z voters are more conservative. That's my take. That's my take. Right, look at what Mark Mitchell posted. Oh, let's see. Holy shit. Well, real text, and I think our theory was true about the married men and women. Holy shit.
Oh
Holy
yeah,
shit.
it makes sense.
Wow. That's weird. 65 plus. That's actually strange. But like, look at 18 to 39. That's what I expected. It's the
Look at the
unmarried men and
65. Look at
women.
the 65 plus. Like there's even a gap between the married men and women.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, that's just wow. That is fascinating. So unmarried women are getting more conservative. That's weird. Based on people I know, later Gen Z is more conservative. From my experience, it's the opposite. I could be wrong, but the polling suggests it's the opposite. I mean, there's been a study by Yale where, yeah, it had like the youngest voters, the most conservative of that generation. So, talk about the slap fight that started between Presser and the other guy. I heard it. I saw that. I posted a meme about that. Yeah, so Scott Presser's having a slap fight with somebody right now. So,
Yeah. Don't know why, but
what?
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why that's happening, but it is.
Because that's a ticking time bomb. All right. When I say later, I mean born later. Oh, as a younger, yeah, I agree with that. People that are younger Gen Z voters, they're way more conservative. They're the ones that got screwed over by COVID, and they want vengeance. That's my experience. That's what I know. So they got fucked over, and they realize the world's going to shit. So hold up. People are saying, look what Vance posted. Hold up. Is this real? So I know Trump posted a little while ago how we gotta like deport everybody. Yeah. Trump a little while ago, he said we have to deport like all the radical left people. He said like we gotta get rid of these lowlifes. But apparently JD Vance, a little while ago, Elon Omar said that our country should be more fearful of white men because they're causing most of the deaths within this country. Okay? That's what she said, which is obviously bullshit. And JD Vance, the Vice President Vance, he said this isn't just sick. It's actually genocidal language. What a disgrace this person is. So,
And
Vance is
then you also
calling.
had Jasmine, and then you had Jasmine Crockett at some kind of commencement ceremony for whatever reason.
Oh, gosh. But yeah,
Instead of calling us the N word, they call us DEI hires, even though most blacks are even more qualified.
oh, I'm getting so sick of her. But yeah, so Democrats right now, they. Now you have Vance say they're genocidal maniacs, basically. And Trump yesterday just said we gotta deport these people. You know, I said this before. I think the month of May is gonna be a shit show. Month of May and June. Especially now with that the fundraising stuff where like they're giving a bunch of money to that one like mother or whatever for saying the N
Yeah.
word. Is that what happened? Honestly, I'm not paying attention to it. What actually happened in that case?
Uh, she called the black kid the N word and then raised a bunch of money. I mean, it's stupid, but on the other hand, I think it's solely because of the Corona land fee
Yeah, I think it's
stuff.
just like people get sick of it. They're like, fuck this. This is insane. Which that's not good. I mean, that just indicates tensions are getting worse, but anyways. Go Vance. Yeah. Jasmine Crockett
Right.
and Maxie Waters look like a before and after commercial. Real. American Nerd for 2. Vance is the best VP in decades. Oh, yeah. He's the only VP that you could say is relevant. Well, I don't know. American Nerd for 3. 8 by unmarried women are moving to the right. They are. It depends who, though. So. I bet he was seen to advance. Actually got confirmed VP. Who?
Uh, I don't know.
Advanced arrangement syndrome. I don't know. Go Vance. Yeah. So, listen. From what I've heard, I said this before. The next 30 to 60 days, apparently that's when the arrests are going to start. Apparently they're going to start going after these people. So maybe Trump's tweet yesterday was like kind of the unofficial announcement. Hopefully, to start going after these people. Hopefully, surely. But we shall see. We shall see. Biden and Harris set the bar in hell. What? Oh, they set a low bar? I mean, yeah. But that's because they sucked. Do you see the sheriff from LA switch parties? I think that was a former sheriff, actually. Not the actual sheriff right now. But yeah.
Yeah, former sheriff.
Yeah, former sheriff. So. Chance raising for 2. Vance only Bill Kristol is what I voted for. I agree with that. Mike for 5. If the GOP wants to hold on to this young support, they must take the America First populist route, not the Bible-thumping Israel simp route. I mean...
Here's the thing. That's what TPUSA used to be, and that's when the Gen Z vote was more liberal.
Yeah, I think people...
You realize that?
I think people are just getting sick of the whole issue. Like, people just don't care. But I agree. They're like... People don't want to hear what Israel 24/7. They don't. They're like, we don't give a shit. But yeah, like, you're right. I mean, you're right. TPUSA, when they were like that, that's when Gen Z were at the most liberal, which I think there's other reasons for that, but still. American Nerd for 2. Trump basically said Executive Order 66. Yep. Chris Creative for 5. Have you seen Elon, Omar, AOC, and others saying white men are a threat are a threat? Are all dated and married to them? Not sure why people don't see through this. Well, yeah, they're full of shit. They're full of shit. Like, are they married to white men? Yeah, I guess they are. So. Charlie Kirk needs to take notes. Well, he did. His group has changed completely since 2019, was it? It's like right before COVID. So. What do you think of the California governor race? I was hoping for Shanahan, but we're screwed. We are screwed no matter what now. Very sad day.
I mean, still might get Kamala Harris, but...
Yeah. A lot of the right is socially conservative and Gen Z and not economic. Well, that's true. I mean, people, like, they don't like liberal economics. They don't. They're like, this is bullshit.
Small government.
Yeah, no one likes it. American Art for 3. I thought Omar was married to her brother. I don't know. She probably was. I don't freaking know.
Probably at one point she might have, but...
Do we have to pull out the receipts on Bill Kristol? Yeah. A hot take, but I think Democrats might nominate the mayor of Newark because he's writing the most about resisting Trump. They're gonna pick the orange man bad candidates, or actually no, it'd be Vance bad. It'd be Vance and Rubio bad. You think
in New Jersey?
What?
In New Jersey?
Maybe. Oh,
that's what
for the governor race. Oh, yeah. I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. You think Katie Porter would win? I mean, whoever the Democrat nominee is, yeah. The only way was if, like, there's a 5-way primary and then there was 2 Republicans. That was the only way that we could win that race. But, no, we're not getting that, sadly. But, sorry, but I'll still only believe in arrests when I see them. Oh, I understand, but I've heard that's going to start soon. I've heard it's going to start, like, next 30 days. We need kept the run for Senate soon. I think he's going to announce. I think he said he's going to run. Or he basically confirmed it. But please say Hispanic man bad in 2028. Yeah, they should. Go ahead and say that. Go ahead and say Hispanic bad.
Cuban man bad, yeah.
Yeah, that's better one. Cuban bad. Like, Miami-Dade's like R+50.
Latinx man bad.
Arrest these cases when we try to DC. Well, I'm not going to say anything, but I've heard there's going to be something interesting that happens. That's what I've heard. I can't confirm anything, but I've heard they're not pissing around. So.
I kind of hope they say Latinx man bad.
Oh my gosh, they say that, like, Hispanic vote like shifts like 80 points to the right. Catholic man bad. Oh, speaking of Catholic, do we ever really talk about the stupid Pope thing? Hold on. For
Oh
those
yeah,
that,
Trump did the thing.
oh my gosh, I'm getting sick of these people. Let me just pull this up. For those that don't know, I'm gonna pull up the tweet. Yeah, so Trump posted an image on Truth Social and on Twitter, and a lot of people are throwing temper tantrums about it. So Trump posted an AI image of him as the Pope. Yeah, it was a very slow news day, as you could tell. This was somehow the biggest controversy. Oh, he's making fun of Catholics. I hate these people. Meanwhile, half the people that are saying this, like half of them would say like the Catholic Church are filled with pedophiles. So these people are full of shit. I mean, guys, the Biden administration, they literally targeted Catholics. The Catholic president went after Catholic groups. I don't want to hear this crap.
The governor of Washington is literally.
Yeah, these same people said nothing about that. For those that don't know, the governor of Washington, who's a Catholic, supposedly, he just signed a bill where they're going after Catholic priests in Washington. They're going to force them to break their seal of confession, which, listen, the priests will never do that. They will die before they do that. But the point is, they're targeting Catholics in Washington. Yet these grifters are saying, oh, President Trump is making fun of Catholics. He posted one meme. Who gives a shit? Chance raising for 5. Trump Pope meme is Madison Square Garden Puerto Rico joke 2.0. The only people who get offended were liberals, most of whom aren't even Catholic. Yeah, same thing's gonna happen here. And the people bitching the most are non-Catholics anyways. So, I don't get it. Listen, my opinion is I don't care. I don't care about this when the state of Washington is pulling their shit. So, take out for 2. You can't be a Catholic Democrat in 2025. Yeah, you can't. I wish the church would affirm that, but they're never going to. Sadly. They're never going to. Anyways. Supreme Court might throw out the law. Yeah, they'll take 5 years to do it, though. My hot take is that Vance Rubio take to make Catholics vote more Republican than Protestants. I would go that far. You still got a lot of evangelicals, like R plus 80. That's
You got the whole fucking South as well to deal with. So.
And a lot of these Catholics are like they're the types that might go to mass on Easter or something. Maybe they go to mass like once every 5 years, but they're partisan Dems. Like that's who. Those are the Catholic Democrats now. So. I'm a Catholic and I'm approving the idea of Trump being the next Pope. I just don't care. It's a meme. Who cares? Mike for 2, Pope Trump. We will place 1,000 tariffs on hell. That's real.
So true.
Alright. The Trump Pope picture made people rage, but will these same people rage when Snapchat probably releases a new Pope filter when the conclave meets? Oh, they won't say anything. They won't say a damn thing. These people are full of shit. These people don't give a shit about Catholics. They're just using it as an excuse to attack the Orange Man. So, American Yard for 2. Isn't the Washington law against the First Amendment? Yeah, but it passed. Jacob Holly for 5. If we had to run to Tom Tiffany, we would have lost the House seat and would have most likely lost the governor race due to boomers, young dad, young vote. Well, I get that. Like, Tom Tiffany's great. I understand the theory that, you know, he would probably lose and then we get him out of the House. That would suck. But I still think Tiffany could win. He has a unique appeal in Wisconsin. But I understand what you're saying. I get it. The Antarctic ice sheet gained ice. Oh, yeah, I saw that. For the first time in decades. Hold on, let me pull this up.
Yeah, Al Gore, how do you feel about that?
Freaking, I hate these people.
Let
me pull this up. I'm gonna find it. Yeah. So, it was reported by Colin Rugg yesterday that Antarctica reverses trends and gained ice for the first time in decades, according to a new study published by the Science China Earth Sciences. So yeah. Yeah, from 2011 to 2020, the Antarctic ice sheets lost 142 gigatons of ice per year. In 2021 and 2023, they gained about 108 gigatons a year. Wow, it's as if climate changes. Wow. I've been saying this forever.
Rap, you just said climate change is real.
Listen, I've always said that climate changes. No one's going to deny that. People are going to say no. The bullshit comes from the idea that if we stop using cars, the climate's going to magically stop. That's bullshit. Climate always changes.
If we genocide all the cows so they can stop farting, that's how they.
Guys, it doesn't matter what we do in the first place because
Actually,
China's
I'm sorry I said that. You're probably demonetized now.
The point is, China dumps God knows what into the air at this point. They don't care.
That's racist. You can't say that.
It's true. Our carbon emissions are going down. What's going on is climate changes. I'm not denying climate change. I've always believed it's real. Climate does change. But the way they push is bullshit. It's like evolution. It's true, but the way they spin it is complete bullshit. American Nerd for 3. Global warming / climate change is a scam. Again, what's the scam is when they keep changing their minds every 5 years. Every 10 years. Every 10 years, they say, we gotta stop global warming. But 20 years ago, actually 30 years ago, I should say, they were saying, we must stop global cooling. They're full of shit. Climate changes every year. It changes over time.
We need to stop Orange Man.
Orange Man's really for the
climate.
I mean, New York was supposed to be underwater at this point. It's not. Climate change. Well, again, climate changes. I'm not going to deny that. That's just basic science. But I am saying that, hey, this idea that magically if everyone stops using their cars, we're going to reverse course, that's bullshit. That's not true. Clearly it's not. So, someone check out Al Gore right now. That's real. That's real.
He's probably saying it's a sign of global cooling.
Oh my gosh, if we start hearing a global cooling is going to happen, I hope people never take them seriously again. But you know what's going to happen? Give it 5 years, you're going to see the ice sheets go up. Like, it's going to keep growing, and they're going to say, we must warm up the planet to stop the global cooling. It's going to happen. Mm. It was the 70s, I think. That's when it happened. In the 70s and 80s, that's when they pushed it. It's bullshit.
Yeah, we have to dim the sun in order to stop global warming.
Yeah.
We need more sunlight to stop global cooling. No.
Cake out for 2. The Al Gore Rithium was wrong, it seems. Yeah. He was full of shit. Again, what they do is they take a serious problem, the environment, and they make it where, it's all climate change. That's not the entire environment. There's other things to talk about. But they made it all about climate change, and now turns out it's bullshit. Oh, okay, climate change is real, but you get the point. Remember when these people...
Wow, you admitted climate change is real. You're a rhino.
Hold up. I gotta look this up. Carbon emissions went up since 2020, I'm assuming. So, yeah. It's all bullshit.
Thanks, Joe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, thank you, Joe. But all right, everybody. I think it's time we end the stream here. If you guys did enjoy, smash the like button down below. Hold on. Average sewer gator for 2. Opinions on the Rochester, Minnesota playground incident. Is that the mother?
Yeah, I think so.
Again, I've honestly paid little attention to the case. That's my case. That's my take. I don't know.
I mean, her raising money is stupid, but it's
just backlash what happened with the Anthony case.
Yeah. That's literally what it is. So,
all right. If they change the argument to air pollution, this issue would have been dominated. What?
If they changed, I guess, the argument to like.
Oh, if they would have made it if it was actual hey, we should not be breathing in bad shit. Yeah, that's a legitimate concern. That's what I care about. It's hey, we should not be allowing China pumping shit in the air. That's unbreathable. That's an actual concern. But no, they don't talk
about
that.
We're racist. We're the ones doing it, not China. Yeah. China's making flying cars
Yeah,
Yes, I don't know.
sure. We'll see what happens. But all right, everybody. So I think it's time to end the stream here. As you can tell, I'm getting a little bit sicker now. So thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you guys the next stream, video, or wherever you see us at. Godspeed.